back. That guy's dead. He's in there. Coming. Yeah, buddy. Barrett Buff for the win. Little quad headshot feed. I'll take it. What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another video. I hope you guys all enjoyed the intro clip there. That was just one of the nice clips I hit yesterday on stream, straight after this update to everything that has changed on Cold War recently. So yesterday, obviously, they dropped the Season 3 Reloaded update with Cold War. And along with that came a ton of updates and changes to lots of different things in the game. There's new game modes, there's a new map, there's obviously standoffs back, and a bunch of weapon tuning. Now, if you've watched my videos before, at any point in the last like 7 years that I've been creating content, you'll know that I am an avid sniper, as I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this are. So when it comes to weapon tuning updates, the only thing I really care about is obviously the changes to sniper rifles. When they dropped the patch notes on Wednesday, all I saw on Twitter for like 3 or 4 hours was just every sniper in the community just crying and screaming on Twitter like, "They've ruined the sniper rifles! What are we gonna do? Sniping's dead on Cold War now, man. What do we get? I'm gonna have to go back to World War II or something." And I was like, no. That can't be right. I don't think that's true. And when you actually look over the patch notes properly, you can see that it really isn't as bad as everyone was making it out to be. I feel like a lot of people just read over the patch notes, they skimmed it, saw that ADS was going to be affected, and they were like, nah, that's it, they fucked it. But when you actually read the patch notes, you can see that actually not that many changes are actually going to be that drastic, and you know, I don't feel like that much is really going to change. And then obviously yesterday we were all playing after the new update. We were playing with the new weapon tuning update, and you know, seeing how everything worked, especially with the sniper rifles. And as expected, there really wasn't that much of a drastic change with any of the sniper rifles, despite how many very small little things that they had mentioned in the patch notes that they'd been tweaking and tuning. So this is a video explaining to all of you guys who might be confused about the sniper update, the weapon tuning on the sniper rifles after this patch. Hopefully I can help this make sense to you and explain to you what the differences are with all the different weapons, what the differences are with all the different attachments and things like that, and put your mind at ease. So one of the biggest things that they mentioned in the patch notes and that they've rolled out with this new update is the ADS momentum. Now, this wasn't really a factor that we ever saw in the stats when you look over any of the attachments on the sniper rifle and stuff like that. There was obviously ADS speed, and there was a few attachments that would give you an ADS speed bonus, but ADS momentum was never really a term that was properly mentioned. What the ADS momentum actually is, which it does explain in the patch notes, is the momentum between shots when you're trying to come out of your scope on the first kill and then maybe scope in quite quickly onto the second person, and if you wanted to get a sprint in the middle as well. It doesn't affect the ADS speed when you're scoping in from the hip. Only affects ADS speed when you're trying to scope in again after sprinting after your first or second shot. As you can see in the gameplay I provided here, it's very slightly slower now, and you have to sort of pick your shots a little bit and think about where you're going to place yourself in regards to where the enemy is, just so you're not getting caught, because you are moving slightly slower and you can't necessarily pull your scope up quite as fast as you used to. It's a very, very minuscule amount of difference on most sniper rifles. In fact, the only sniper rifles that really affects are the Tundra and the M82. Also, lots more exciting stuff to tell you about the M82. As you heard in the intro clip there, they have actually buffed the Barrett, and it's amazing now. The other big thing that they've changed is obviously the addition of Flinch onto the sniper rifles. Now, one of the biggest complaints that people have always made since the very start of this game, despite the snipers on this game being the slowest that they ever have been, is that there is no flinch, and sniping's overpowered, and sniping's too easy, and this, that, and the other. Well, we knew it was going to happen at some point. They added flinch to the sniper rifles. The good thing is the flinch really isn't even that strong, especially if you compare it to some of the examples from previous CODs. For example, on World War II and on Black Ops 4, especially at the start of both of those games, the flinch on sniper rifles was very, very hard. Another cool thing to mention about the flinch is that on the Swiss, the newest sniper rifle, they stated in the patch notes that the Swiss actually has 25% less flinch than every other sniper rifle, and you can definitely feel that difference when you're playing with the Swiss, especially playing against people using submachine guns and things like that. The flinch on every sniper rifle is definitely more noticeable now, but there's definitely a lot less flinch on the Swiss than there is on the Tundra, the M82, the ZRG, and the Pellington. Now, about the Barrett, the M82 got a really, really good buff. One that we have all been waiting for since the very start of this game. Now, if you're like me, you hated using the Barrett or the M82 on this game. To me, it just didn't feel like a viable weapon to use. The scoping speed was really slow, and even if you did scope in before you got killed, 9 times out of 10, you got a hit marker, even if you're shooting them in the chest. In fact, I hated the M82 so much that despite having over 100,000 sniping kills on this game, I don't even have the Barrett fully leveled up. Now, what they've done with the Barrett is they've made the ADS speed faster. They've made the damage higher. Now, using the Tiger Team barrel on the M82, you can get a one-shot kill anywhere above the knees. So finally, the Barrett in this game really does feel like a 50 caliber sniper rifle, which it should have done from the start, but at least we get it now. The only downsides to the Barrett that they've changed are these two things. They've made the fire rate slower, so you can't spray with it anymore. The fastest fire rate you can get is when you're using the Tiger Team barrel. And because of the fire rate and damage bonus, I would definitely recommend using the Tiger Team barrel just as I would on every other sniper rifle. I'm sure you guys all know that. And the other thing to mention is this ADS momentum feature that they've sort of tweaked and added with the sniper rifles. You can definitely feel it on the Barrett. As you can see in this clip here, if you shoot with the Barrett and then try to sprint afterwards, there's like a delay before you can sprint straight after shooting. That delay also happens if you're trying to swap weapons straight after shooting. So if you're like me and you like going for swap clips with using two different sniper rifles at the same time, that can be kind of a pain. The one thing that you can do to change this is you can reload cancel. Now, there's two different ways of reload canceling, as I'm sure you guys who've been playing Call of Duty for a while know. You can either sprint to reload cancel, or you can press reload and then double tap Y or triangle. So if you reload cancel with the Barrett after each shot, actually cancels out that delay before you can sprint or change weapon or do anything to sort of get around the map. Another thing to mention is despite it not letting you sprint as soon as you take a shot with the Barrett, you can actually slide. So one thing I would recommend doing, if you've got fat thumbs like me and you don't really fancy trying to reload cancel after every single shot with the Barrett, but you still need to sort of maneuver around if there's multiple enemies in front of you, after you take that first shot with the Barrett, just pop a slide in there. And you can do that slide in the middle of that sort of delay animation where it feels like nothing's happening, and the slide actually performs just fine. And I find that really, really useful. The biggest thing that you guys are going to want to take away from this video, if you like sniping like myself, especially aggressive sniping, is that the Serpent wrap handle is now the attachment to use. Before this update, the airborne elastic wrap was the handle and the attachment that everyone should have been using in order to get the fastest ADS speed possible. As it shows in the patch notes, they've actually completely destroyed the airborne elastic wrap. They've taken away most of its ADS bonus potential, as well as making the flinch resistance a lot lower as well. However, with the Serpent wrap, not only have they not changed it, but they have also made it so that on different snipers, it performs differently with different speeds. So before, it used to be a 10% ADS bonus to every sniper that you applied it to. On the Tundra, that's still the case. It's still a 10% ADS bonus, and that's one of the reasons the Tundra still feels slightly slower than it used to. However, on the other sniper rifles, it actually seems like they've added a little bit more of an ADS bonus to the Serpent wrap. For example, on the Swiss, it's now a plus 14% ADS bonus. And if you guys haven't tried out the Swiss with this attachment yet, with the 14% ADS, but to try it, it's fucking great. The Swiss is now by far the easiest sniper to aggressively snipe with. I think it kind of was before anyway, but now especially. So what I'm going to do now is just run through with you guys what I think is the best sniping class to use after this new update with all the different weapon tuning. I just want to say as well, if you're the person that skipped straight to the class setup, you missed out on a whole lot of information that's probably going to do you a lot of good. So as you guys can see, I have here a Tundra and Swiss swap class. In my opinion, these are both still the best sniper rifles to use on this game. But like I said, and like you saw in the intro clip, I'm also really loving the M82 at the moment, so definitely give that a try. So what I have here on the Tundra is obviously the Tiger Team barrel, the Tiger Team Spotlight. Tiger Team barrel is going to give you that extra damage, and the Tiger Team Spotlight, as I'm sure you guys all know, helps with that reveal distance, puts a little red dot over the enemy's heads, helps out massively, especially on big maps. The 7-round mag is an absolute must, and the Serpent wrap. Now, as you guys can see, this gives a 10% ADS bonus. Now that they've changed the airborne elastic wrap, the Serpent wrap is now the fastest handle to use, like I mentioned earlier. And then I also run the marathon pad stock on there as well, just because it helps out with the sprint to fire time. On the Swiss, I run a pretty similar setup. So I've got the Tiger Team barrel, the steady aim laser, because the Swiss is really useful to use in close quarter situations. Having that steady aim laser to sort of help you get those pop shots off more accurately at close range really, really helps out. The 8-round magazine, and then again, the Serpent wrap. Now here, as you guys can see, the Serpent wrap is now a plus 14% ADS bonus on the Swiss. And trust me when I say, you can tell the difference in game. The Swiss feels way better than it ever has done, and it's fantastic. Give this a try. And then on this one, I run no stock, which is pretty much the equivalent to the marathon pad stock on the Tundra. Give me an extra sprint to fire time bonus, and it takes away some of the hip fire accuracy, but that's kind of leveled out with this steady aim laser in the first place. So those are the attachments you're going to want to use. The perks and stuff, you can do pretty much whatever you want. I run a stim and a tomahawk and a jammer. Jammers are really helpful for sentry guns. Tomahawks are just fun. Stims are pretty necessary if you're not playing snipers only. And then these perks are an absolute must, because on this game, everyone just throws semtexes all the time. And that pretty much wraps up the video, ladies and gents. So if you guys enjoyed, if this video helped you out, please do me a favor, drop a like on the video, share it with someone else who might be confused about the whole sniping, weapon tuning update type of thing. I got you guys covered, okay? I'm here to explain it because I know some of you are like, what the fuck's going on? Just a reminder for you guys as well, I stream 5 days a week on Twitch, Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. till 8 p.m. UK time. Hit the link in the description, come on over, have a good time. Almost all the clips that you see in my YouTube videos are hit on stream, and it's always a fucking blast in there. The amount of support that I've been getting recently on Twitch has just been absolutely insane, and I'm blessed to be able to make this a full-time job thanks to you guys, so thank you. On that note, thank you guys so much for all the love. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in another video next Wednesday. Peace and love.